Hi, how's it going, everybody? This is Rob of Novakast, and this is, I want to say, episode 1 of a new series that I'm starting called Manga Time. Kind of like reaction time, where I'm going over videos from different, creators and doing reactions. I wanted to try something else, as well as kind of do something similar to a lot of other podcasts that I've seen, but in a more of audio form. In fact, the final draft of this audio podcast, or I guess show, I should say, will be placed on another website as well for more of an audio podcast type of deal. So, anyways, this is Manga Time, where to an extent I focus on manga. Now, I talked to Aden and MJ about this particular show, and to an extent I planned on, maybe once every episode discuss a manga, and maybe briefly bring up a few bits of news for manga if there's anything important, and go from there. This week we have, which I bought from Barnes and Noble, Ragna Crimson, which is created by Oriki Kabayashi. So this will be interesting. So I guess to start us off, let's talk about news. Couple things that I would kind of know about, at the very least. At least one big thing. I guess Kotaku made an announcement that the classic Trigon manga might get a reprint after being gone for 15 years. That seems interesting. And that being a Dark Horse comic, too. So, going further, looking at anything else that would be interesting. Apparently, Resident Evil is getting its own manga, Resident Evil Death Island, and I think that is the movie that is coming out in recent time. Which, by the way, the CGI animated movies for Resident Evil, not gonna lie, those are the better ones compared to the live action films. So going further than that, I don't see any more relevant news, or at the very least anything that I would probably recognize right off the bat. I don't follow as much manga and everything as a lot of other people. I do apologize. I've always been curious about it. A lot of stuff on Trigon, though, looking at the news. So I guess we can kind of get started and talk about Ragna. Again, it is created by Oriki Kobayashi, and looking at the cover, and by the way, I only bought volume 1, and it's basically, and just so you guys know, that is kind of how I'm going to review some of these pieces of media, is I'm going to either look into or buy the first manga, or look at the first few chapters and give my thoughts on it. And I will say that looking at the volume that I got, it is it's kind of a thick book. The back of the book itself, for its description, reads, "In this action-packed dark fantasy, let me rephrase that because I screwed it up. In this action-packed dark fantasy, humanity lives under the threat of annihilation by immensely powerful dragons." Kind of sounds like Rain of Fire, if you ask me. A dragon hunter, Ragna, embarks on a revenge-fueled quest to eliminate that threat once and for all. Dragon hunters, warriors armed with special silver weapons, who kill their prey for bounty. I kind of feel like they're kind of stealing off The Witcher to an extent with the silver swords or silver weapons. Lowest among their ranks is Ragna, who forms an improbable partnership with the young genius Leonica. Hopefully, I probably screwed that up. I do apologize. A master dragon slayer with more kills to her name than almost any other. All Ragna wants to stay by Lenica's side. I think it's pronounced Lenica. But his dream is shattered by an attack from the deadliest dragon imaginable. So, looking at the cover, you have so in the background you have a dragon, and in the foreground you have the title, and in between you have what I'm going to like looking at, like, first glance, you would have to assume that is Ragna. White hair. His hair is covering one of his eyes. He looks very emo, and to an extent is like in one of those badass, like, swordsman poses. Yeah, that's basically Ragna. But looking at it, I mean, it shows kind of like, I don't know if you could say underpowered, but like starting it off, you have Ragna who, like, the first page gets his ass kicked by a friggin' dragon and is then saved by the individual who has a scar on their face. I don't remember their names, but honestly, I don't care for whatever reason. I will say that looking through it, by the way, it's Leo. That's the person who I said I don't care about. But all in all, it's got, I want to say, like, the themes of it is kind of close to, kind of your stereotypical, like, revenge fueled, like, oh, monster kill, just monster cause all this destruction. I want to, kill all the dragons, this and that. It's just, I don't know how to describe it, because honestly, looking at it, some of the artwork looks good, but I could care less for the characters. I know I might have some Ragna and Crimson people like look at me like, how could you not like it? Like, I just like reading it. Like, a lot of them just didn't seem that memorable to me, or at least some of the motivations at all. But then again, I've watched a lot of TV. I've watched a lot of shows. I watched a lot of, read a lot of comics in the past. I've kind of indulged myself in a lot of media, and to be fair, it might be due to being a little bit jaded at this point, but I will say that if when it comes down to this, it's pretty to go through, to look at. Just the characters were not very, I don't know, motivating. So I'm trying to think of like what would be a good way to go about this. Don't even know like what like for ratings. I kind of want to borrow a rating system from one of my favorite podcasts, and to an extent, between buy it, read it, borders, or burn it, piss on the ashes. Honestly, for Ragna Crimson, I'm gonna say read it at borders. It's something that you can glance at, but it's something that you're not going to completely remember. So, anyway, that was my review, my bit of manga time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Also, next episode, whenever I get to it, I'll be looking at one that I've actually been very, very, very curious about looking at, and that is Overlord. Yes, the big scary skeleton creature lich that can use magic and has a demon as his assistant. She demon? I don't know. Either way, looking forward to that when I finally get to it. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. What are your thoughts? If you guys have anything you'd like to add, leave in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you feel like I am being overcritical, go ahead and let me know. All in all, if you have anything, if you object to anything that I said, let me know as well. Please like, share, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Whatever it is for Spotify soundboard, whatever I end up posting the audio version on, as well as for YouTube itself. Links are in the description, as well as our Patreon. And follow our daily content. With that being said, this is Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. And I will see you guys next video.